When it comes to sending messages on our mobile phones and smartphones, I guess there's really two choices. I can send an SMS, traditional style, or I can use one of these internet mobile instant messaging applications. What does the growth look like in each of those markets for 2014?
For this year, we're expecting to have about 50 billion messages per day on the MIM services and about 20 or so billion per day via text messaging.
Per day?
Per day. So we're talking about trillions per year of these messages. But some people are sending hundreds of messages per day. And to an extent, what it's doing for the MIM services is replacing conversations, replacing email. That's why we get this kind of volume.
So 50 to 20, that's a pretty big gap and it's widening. Is it the end? Is SMS over? Is there no more value in SMS?
It's actually the converse. So text messaging has the value even if it doesn't have the volume. And in terms of how valuable it is, we're estimating between $100 and $120 billion for text messaging this year. Now contrast that with about $2 billion, everything in, for mobile instant messaging services.
Why is there such a vast gulf? I mean, that's 50 to 1. I mean, I can understand a small difference, but why that kind of gap?
Well, there are a couple of major differences, and one of them is just that text messages cost more. So even though the units are lesser, the value is significantly greater. So if you think a text message may cost a cent, a couple of cents, but for those sending low volumes, it might be 10 cents. And if you send just 10 messages a month, it's $1. Now contrast that with the instant messaging services, many of which remain free and may always be free. And some of those which charge, like WhatsApp, it's $1 per year. And some years they offer you another 3 year subscription. So the monetization of those services is not that great. And the quantity of companies coming to the market keep the prices low, often zero.
So looking forward, although the growth in SMS, which is still happening, is slowing, the dollar value gap that we see today is unlikely to go away even in the next decade.
Yeah, by 2017, 2018, then most people expect text messaging volumes and values to be declining. But still, it's a long way to fall before it starts getting anywhere close to what's happening to mobile instant messaging services, some of which, in terms of their profitability, are being affected by the fact they're having to advertise because it's such a crowded market. And what we found is that many people's smartphones have multiple providers on there. So if anyone comes in and says, oh, we're going to charge you $1 per month, then you can go, bye-bye, I'm going to go to another provider, because there are so many of them out there, all offering slightly different services.